Microsoft goes out of their way to hook in some PlayStation fans and PlayStation gamers, hoping that they'll switch to the Xbox. Now, this is something that obviously has been a plan of theirs for a while now, but the main thing that I would question is, so many people look to a lot of these other areas outside of the United States and directly the UK and go, well, that's PlayStation territory. Well, things can change, and things can change drastically in a short period of time. With that being said, I think that Microsoft still has a long way to go with this, but I love the fact that they're even attempting it, and right in Sony's own face. Now, earlier today, I was on Twitter, and again, I honestly don't use social media that much anymore. It's not because I hate social media or anything like that. It's for the simple fact that, social media is usually so fake, and people are so, one-sided and only see things their own way, and it just leads to arguments. So I've used it less and less. But I was talking about, the Activision deal and how Microsoft was very smart for the things that they were, trying to accomplish with that deal. And, with that being said, the fact that they were able to, get Sony to be, pretty terrified of an idea of a future with no Call of Duty for PlayStation, that they're trying to kind of backdoor it and use all these channels, tells you everything you need to know. But people don't believe it. They just go, oh, well, Sony dominates over here. But Sony has been getting away with raise the price of the PlayStation in numerous territories by $50, raise game prices by, $70. $70 for a remake of a remaster that hardly looks any better and cuts out content with the multiplayer. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. No backwards compatibility for PSVR 1 with PSVR 2 when it should be a breeze to make that compatible, right? They're doing all these little things that should tick people off, but people act like, well, the fanboys act like it's just perfectly fine, and they'll throw up some kind of whataboutism. The main thing is, for me anyway, what's going to happen when something like Call of Duty, Diablo 4, all these future games, Starfield, are in Game Pass day one? These games would be, $70 games on PlayStation, and, and a $550 PlayStation 5, $70 games, when you could pick up a Series S and Game Pass and all these games for less than half that price. Like, it's going to be a great day, I think, and we're going to see a lot of change from people with that happening. Now, they're trying to get some of the Japanese love, right? They're trying to get the gamers that like the Japanese games and that kind of stuff. US video game console maker Xbox has never made its mark on Japan in terms of sales, but after 2 decades and missteps, it has no plans to give up. And last week, Xbox shared news on upcoming titles at the Tokyo Game Show and said that more Asian titles would be added to a subscription service, Game Pass, over the next year. It announced that Deathloop, which was a timed PlayStation exclusive, is available for Xbox as of September 20th. The presentation was part of Xbox's broader strategy to woo Asian audiences and capture market share from Japan, a country that has traditionally shied away from its consoles. In 20 years, Xbox has sold a total of 2.3 million consoles in Japan, according to Famitsu. So that's not a tremendous amount, and that's something that obviously they want to kind of rectify. And I think, because in Japan they do use cloud gaming, especially a lot more than everywhere else, and obviously the Series S has been kind of popular there. So according to Sarah Bond from Xbox, they said, we've been on this journey for a long time and we're not letting up. According to Xbox's corporate vice president of game creative experiences and ecosystem in an interview with the Washington Post. Bond said that Xbox is getting the company's investment in a slate of Asian titles will pay off and show Xbox is more than just Halo and Forza. Typically, Asian players have preferred to buy PlayStation and Nintendo devices where they can find more Japanese role-playing games and narrative-based games. We're invested in both the depth and breadth of titles that are on our platform, and that's exactly how reputations are built, she said. We see that game creators are more willing to take risks because of Game Pass, because they actually know that they're going to be able to get more of an audience. Someone will fall in love with something that isn't necessarily that big brand name, but is a really, really delightful player experience. Bond said there are over 250 developers in Japan, building over 150 games to date, including titles like Tetris Effect, Connected, and Craftopia. Those titles will get to live on Xbox's PlayStation or platform, even if many are not exclusive. During the Tokyo Game Show, Xbox announced that pre-existing PlayStation mainstays like Danganronpa V3 and Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch are now available in Game Pass. It has plans to bring other games as well, including Persona titles to Game Pass over the next year. While the Xbox Series devices are not predicted to sell anywhere near the level of the PS5 over the coming years, Microsoft is now more competitive than it has been for at least a decade. According to Pierre's Harding Rolls, an analyst in the market research firm Ampere Analysis, that shows that Microsoft's approach to the market is paying dividends. Microsoft noted its current generation of consoles is selling better than previous generations, though it didn't share a specific figure. Bond said that the company had reflected upon its past blunders, such as launching the Xbox One console in Japan nearly a year after the other markets. When they were talking about launching the Xbox One, there's a lot of things about that launch that we know we didn't get right, according to Bond. It takes a long time for us to learn from our mistakes, and really happy about that, to apply that to begin to build our new hardware, our product lineup, and our creator relationships. For the Series X and the S console launch in 2020, the company released the new consoles in Japan simultaneously with other parts of the world. The Series X generation is the best selling to date, according to Microsoft. Harding Rolls market research firm found Xbox sold fewer than 100,000 consoles in Japan last year compared to Sony and Nintendo's combined sales of 6.7 million. Harding Rolls said Microsoft's small improvement on a tiny market share trailed badly behind Japanese consoles and mobile devices. There's only so much Microsoft can achieve with its console product strategy in Japan, and that underlies why it's seeking to reach gamers across all devices with cloud streaming, which is what I was saying earlier. Hardware generation is a long time to build all that engineering. It's a 5 to 7 year process to bring that forward. Building relationships takes a long time, and building a true AAA game, as we've seen, can take up to 6 years. In June, Microsoft CEO Phil Spencer acknowledged that Japanese developers don't always come to Xbox, and the company's been working on adding more games from the country, such as upcoming Persona titles and an unannounced game that Metal Gear creator Hideo Kojima is overseeing. Persona game developer Atlas did not respond for a comment on this, but Bond was tight-lipped about her meeting with Spencer and Kojima last week, saying they're working with creators in Japan to create something really special for people who play on Xbox, and we're going to keep doing that. So they're very much keen on keeping people excited about what's going on with Xbox and what's going on with everything in that area. Now, do I think that they're gonna crush Sony in the Japanese market? No, but adding even more of those types of games is gonna improve the variety that you have on a platform, and that is the part of things that is going to be what they need to do to accomplish that. People are going to go, oh, well, you know what? All those games would cost me this amount of money on PlayStation plus the price of the PlayStation. I could just get an Xbox, and I think that is something that could happen sooner rather than later. Or they could want to play those things on the cloud or what have you. But I think that the Series S has a real chance to be something big in a lot of places, for people that even just casuals that maybe want to play something that their friends play, or have something along those lines that could be looked at as something amazing. So I think that we could definitely see that, and I'm excited for the future of what could come to Xbox and Game Pass, and even some of these games sound absolutely thrilling. And I'd be incredibly excited to be able to kind of play some of those games. So I know you guys will too. I'm going to link the article. You guys can check it out. Let me know what you think. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thank you so much for watching. Crap Gamer out.